lovely Penny Baker-Breen, and you're watching WVVH TV. And yes, I am back at Ashwa Hall, the lovely Ashwa Hall, one of my favorite places to come and visit art. And there's many, many wonderful exhibits that will happen here all year. But this one is particularly exciting because it is the members of the Artist Alliance of East Hampton's exhibit. So if you're a member of the Artist Alliance, you get to hang your work in here. So if you're an artist and you live out here or you live near here, you should join the Artist Alliance because it's a wonderful way to get to know your community of artists. So anyway, this is also the kickoff party for the Studio Tour, the Artist Alliance Studio Tour. And the Studio Tour, it's the 24th annual Studio Tour, so they've been doing this for 24 years, which is pretty amazing. And it starts July 9th, 10th, and 11th, so you won't want to miss it. It's a really great way to see the East End. You get to go, you buy your ticket, and you want to pick up this brochure, first of all, and they're all over the place, and you buy a ticket, and you can choose which artist you want to come see. You can come to Ashwa Hall starting at noon every day, and you can see with a little orange sticker there on the Artist Studio Tour, and you can choose which artist you want to go visit their studio and see their homes and see how they work and where they work. It's such a exciting event. So we're thrilled to cover it here at WVVH TV. And stay tuned because you won't want to miss some of these wonderful interviews I have with these wonderful, talented artists and members of the Artist Alliance of the East Hampton. So stay right here. So I'm here with Daphne Stern and her husband, Bob. Come on in over here. Come in over here. And this is your piece here at the Artist Alliance Members Exhibit. This is wonderful. Is this your beast from home?
This is my beast right here.
Now, Daphne, you and Bob live in Montauk.
Yes.
How does that inspire your work? Does Montauk inspire you?
Every day, every day. This perhaps less than other pieces, but absolutely. I do a lot of work from photographs, from digital work, and I guess this is my Montauk monster.
Love it. So do you show him the pieces before you put them out?
Absolutely.
See your sounding board?
No. Well, he reacts.
She's as much my sounding board when I do music as I am hers,
You're a musician.
I'm a musician. I don't know that much about art, so I react as somebody who appreciates art but doesn't know much.
You appreciate art, and that's all you have.
So she sometimes runs things by me just to see how I react to them. Not that she necessarily listens, but she's interested.
It's important to have that other voice, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Why do you think it's important?
Because we work in a vacuum. I mean, we work alone, and it's a conversation with ourselves, and it's good to have a perspective. Absolutely.
So tell me about what kinds of things go into making this. It looks like you almost take paper towel.
It's paper towel, wrapping paper. It's this is polymer clay, beads.
Very eco-friendly because you use things, right?
Right. It's mixed with a lot. It actually has mica in it, ground mica. That's the shiny parts. It's a lot of metallic paints.
So do you start out knowing what you're going to do, or do they just sort of happen?
They definitely present themselves.
Love that.
It's just like I've heard authors say that they allow the characters to create the story. Well, for me, my work creates itself, and I just allow it to come out.
Did the Greeks believe that there were that your work would channel through? There was a genius above you, and it would channel through you.
I don't know if they did, but I completely believe
I don't know
that.
if believe me, but
I completely believe that. I think that we have to allow that to be open. We have to be open to allow whatever. And the work is in technique. That's the other part of the brain where we're constantly working to improve our technique, but you have to keep the channels open.
Is it scary to kind of throw something new out there?
Well, this is particularly scary. Yeah, this. I have been doing a whole series of portraits of imagined creatures. So this is the first one I've put out.
But now it's just scary until it kind of gets going and started, and then you get a lot of great feedback, right?
I actually have gotten a lot of.
You should.
I have.
And now, do you work in your home?
I do. I have a beautiful studio.
Are you on the studio tour? Wait.
No, not.
Wait a minute.
Next year.
I hear studio tour.
Next year.
I would love to come and visit your studio.
Absolutely.
I'm here with Janet Culbertson, the artist of this fabulous piece, All That Glitters Is Not Gold.
There you go.
So tell me a little bit about how you created this. This is amazing.
Well, I have 4 different kinds of sparkly, glittery stuff in 4 different sizes, large to small, and I use it as kind of a stand-in for things that are sprinkled and look beautiful but are poisonous, because these are poisonous. If you inhale them, and it's like when you go to a dump and you see how beautiful a gasoline spill looks with all the rainbow colors in it, but it's lethal.
I love it.
And the same thing happens with cracked glass. You know, you go to the dump and you see all this broken glass, and it looks pretty, but it's not good for you. So that's what I was thinking of here. I have little animals in here, little pieces of mirror, and various kinds of things that this crinkled up because it was out in the cold. It froze when I was putting it, and then it turned into
a long process.
Some of them are. I have about 25 of panels.
Okay.
The group is called Overview, and it deals with all different aspects of detritus, environmental problems, oil spills.
You on the studio tour? You'd be a really interesting studio tour.
Stolen elections, etc.
You'd be really interesting on the studio tour.
One of them. I'm not on this particular one. I've been on the others.
No need to say more.
No, yeah, I'm on one of them.
Well, I love your work. It's really a fascinating concept behind it. Now, when you're not doing this whole concept, what other kind of pieces do you work on?
I've done some of the so-called beautiful landscapes, you know, in the past. And I kept seeing the landscape change and become more and more threatened and endangered, so my work changed.
And who's this wonderful lady here who got you this interview?
The vet. My niece, the veterinarian.
Are you a vet out here?
No, I live in upstate New York in Rochester.
Nice to know a nice vet out here.
Yeah. She's going to be out here if I have my way.
She's trying to get me out here, but
So beautiful.
it is beautiful.
Watch out, you might start painting. You come out here.
No, the painting's all in her department.
She's going to end up with all of it.
It's so exciting to come and see the new work that she's created.
Oh, it is. I look forward to every time coming down and walking into the studio and
Does
seeing.
she send you pictures of it before, or do you?
I get the advertisements, the brochures, the postcards, and things like that.
Seeing them is really important. It's with your work. I think being there in front of your work is really important.
The glitter makes all the difference. It's so hard to photograph.
Details. I mean, you've got nails that are in there and little pieces of pine, and everything is like, I don't know how much that would be caught in a photo. So you really can capture it when you see it and feel it.
It's a toy horse.
Talking to you is really nice because you get to learn about what, you know, your concept of your art. So it's nice.
I'm very much involved with content, you know, what's happening in the world today and to the environment and animals and genetic alterations, etc.
Do you live in Springs or do you live in East?
Shelter Island.
Oh, Shelter Island, beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of nice galleries in Shelter Island.
Very nice galleries, and it's a very good area to live, except in February.
Why? Too quiet?
Everything closes.
Not the ferry, I hope.
Cold and dark, no. Not the ferries.
Okay. Well, it's so nice catching up with you, and hopefully we'll see you here full-time next year.
Well,
Maybe.
you never know.
I'm here with Jim Hayden at the 24th Annual Artist Alliance Members Exhibit and Tour. And this is the kickoff party for the tour, right? This
It's the
exhibit.
kickoff. What we did this year is combine the openings because it cuts the cost down if we do them both at the same time, for the studio tour and for the members show. Last year we did it in a gallery and it cost a lot of money. So we're trying to keep costs manageable this year.
That's great. We love it. Budget.
Yeah.
So, Jim, you're an artist and you have a painting here in the show, and you are also on the studio tour. Tell me about this piece. It's very interesting.
Well, I've worked on a series of paintings on glass where I've been in the printing business for so many years, and I know a lot about the chemistry and breakdown of different types of inks, and I play around with them and I make them do what I think I can make them do.
Kind of reminds me of a skull or something.
Well, a lot of people say that. They said they thought it was like a bones, or so I gave it a name, organic. I usually don't name things,
Organic form.
but I gave it organic forms.
So tell me about the tour, the studio tour for artists. How many years have you been doing it?
Well, this is the 24th.
No,
well,
have you been doing it?
Oh,
Have
me?
you been on the tour?
Oh, wow. Well, if my memory was good, I could tell you, but I'm probably maybe about
Long
5
time.
years.
I'm taking that a long time.
Yeah.
Why do you do it?
Well, my wife is also an artist, and we have a close friend that stays with us in the summertime. And it's fun when we're together because then we're very fortunate. I have a nice location. We have a little pool in the back, and we put up images around. And it's a great environment. People come in, they walk around. It's super. It's really nice.
Do you paint while there's people touring, or that day you just put your artwork out?
No, you're usually too busy.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, it's just not practical. Oh.
Uh-oh, that might have been a piece of art falling. No, no.
Probably the wine, too much wine.
So what do you think of the Artist Alliance of East Hampton? Why do you think it's so important?
Oh, wow. Some people believe they shouldn't be showing with other artists and groups like this, and other people say, hey, where else am I going to show unless I can get together? So there's this dichotomy of viewpoints of where people look at things. So
why do you think it's so important for the community of artists?
Well, personally, I feel that it forces me to stay on my toes because I'm being judged daily by my peers. You know, every time I put something up, I know I have a lot of critical eyes that are talking behind my back saying, wow, he's changing, or he's not changing, or he's getting lazy, or he's doing whatever it is. No, but it's fun. I mean, we do talk, but there's probably a silent code there someplace when people say something, oh, well, isn't that nice? Well,
is it scary to put out new work then? Like something when you try something completely different, if there are people that have been watching you over the years and enjoyed your work?
Well, I think when you're young, that's definitely a problem. But as you get more mature, I think you get past that, you know.
You don't care. You're just doing what you're doing.
I do it, because now I'm fortunate. I'm retired. I have a nice place. I can get things done, and I don't have to worry about it, you know. But still in all, I think it's a good push to have a need to get it out also. Because if you feel that you have to produce and that you have to make money with it, that's a driving force.
Yeah.
And I mean, the things I used to do when I had my own business, I can't imagine doing today, because it was like 24/7, and you just were boom, 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 boom. I don't have to do that now. So for younger people who have to make a living at it, they've got to give it that drive. But then as you get a little bit, you know, up there in experience and age, you start to tone back a little bit. And again, I think that's good too, because I go back and I reflect at some of the old work, and I say, how do you kick it up? How do you kick it up another notch? How do you make it just a little bit better?
So do you plan your pieces, or do they just happen?
Oh, no. I don't like the planning aspect of it because, well, in a way, I feel like it's painting by numbers, really. You know, after you go to art school for so many years, and I stood in front of painting models for 8 hours a day for 4 or 5 years, you know, I said, okay, how many nude women do I have to paint, you know? So what I try to do now is experiment with something, see how it flows, and then try and capture that, and then try and reproduce that experience. So, and I don't see it being much different than painting a tree or painting a bush or whatever it is. I paint.
So I'm here with Frank Sofo. Hi, Frank.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm very good. This is a wonderful exhibit. I love the way they combined the kickoff tour with the members exhibit, so this is fun.
Yeah.
How long have you been a member of the Artist Alliance?
About 15 years or so. Yeah, for quite a while. Yeah.
Why do you think it's so important for the artist community and for community?
Well, it was important for me. I mean, when I first came out here, I was an illustrator, and I wanted to expand my work into doing more fine art, but I didn't know anybody out here. So, I mean, the Artists Alliance was kind of my introduction to the community. I got to meet other people, and so I think that's important for other artists. You know, artists tend to work like myself as in an isolated situation, you know, and it's a good place to meet other artists. It's like this show is a venue to absolutely, you know, not everybody can get gallery representation. So I mean, you know, being in a show like this is in this place in Ashwell Hall, which has a historical background to it. It's a great, you know, place to show your work.
Well, I love your pieces. I actually saw your pieces when they were at Golden Eagle, the Golden Eagle.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
That's nice. And you have such an interesting technique. Tell me about your technique, or what you can tell me.
Well, this
without
technique,
giving away too much.
All right, this technique, people say pointillism, kind of like the Seurat technique. I don't use this technique all the time, but you know, it depends on the subject matter. The subject matter dictates to me the way I paint the piece. And I like to use this technique because I think it almost like crocheting. I start putting layers of colors down, and the image kind of emerges kind of magically, you know. So that's, you know, so it's kind of effortlessly, you know, where I don't work at one part of the painting at one, you know, I kind of work all over the painting at you know, at one time, putting in color.
So are you out doing research in the field, taking pictures, or are you just kind of picturing with your mind?
I'm on the beach. I'm on beach bum, and I like to sketch. I'm always there with my sketch pad and sketching all the time. Yeah, I sketch a lot on the beach, you know. So, and a lot of the sketches, you know, and then the sketches end up into paintings.
You are so inspired by the landscape and the beauty out here.
Yes, I mean, I'm definitely the beach, you know, beach people lying on the beach. I mean, it seems to be a recurrent theme with me, people sleeping, because I sleep on the beach all the time. I love to take naps on the beach.
There's something about sleeping on the beach, isn't it?
It's just so peaceful, you know, so.
The waves crashing.
So, I mean, most of my pictures, I've done a lot of series of people sleeping on the beach for some reason, you know, so I think I've probably used that title before, Beach Dreamer or dreams of, you know, the summer or something like that, you know.
Now, are you on the studio tour?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Oh, so
people that are on the studio tour have a little orange sticker there.
And is this your first year doing the studio tour? Or have you done
I've done the studio tour before.
Why do you do the studio tour?
You know, it's just a way of networking with people, meeting people. Hopefully to sell some pieces, but it's not, you know, what happens is that even
Do you sell pieces that day?
I do, but it's also if you don't sell that particular day, you connect with people, and I get calls like during the year, like, oh, you know, I was on a tour, you know, this year or a couple of years ago, and I remember you did such and such a piece, you know. So also I meet people because I still do illustration. I do children's book illustration. I have a book out that's I just published my first, you know, book that I wrote myself. So I'm going to be selling the books on the tour.
What's the name of the book?
The book is called Vincent and Veronica.
And what's it about?
It's a fictitious story about what if Vincent van Gogh had met a cat while he was out painting, and the cat becomes part of his life and it becomes part of his painting. So you see the cat in the Starry Night Sky, you see the cat in very familiar paintings of Vincent van Gogh. So it
gives children.
It's a way of teaching children about art. I think, you know, that's what was my idea about doing it. So it was kind of a fun project that I enjoyed doing.
I'm here with Gene Samuelson having a little laugh. We're enjoying the members artist exhibit and the kickoff tour.
It's a terrific show, right? It's a wonderful show, a lot of variety. I think it's hung very well, and
some amazing pieces. And speaking of amazing pieces, Gene's piece is right behind him, and you work in watercolors. And for those of us that live here year-round, this is a very familiar scene, and it's so the way you've depicted it and captured it is just beautiful. I can feel the cold.
It's familiar, right? It's familiar for everybody.
Oh no, that's the AC.
No, it's familiar to everyone who knows the back road and wants to try to stay off 27. It's just
you don't need to in the winter.
No, but
just for a little change of scenery.
Sadly, everybody knows the back roads now. But it's in Sagaponic. I basically use everywhere as my subject matters. In fact, I'm just working on a bunch of paintings from the North Fork. You know, I went off on a little trip to the North Fork to see what's up there. You know,
made some
no shortage of terrific subject matter wherever you are around here.
And the light, it's so beautiful. And it doesn't matter what time of year, it's just so beautiful.
And I thought that it would be appropriate at the beginning of the summer to show a winter scene, because there is more here than July and August.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. And you're on the studio tour.
I am on the studio tour.
How many years have you been doing that?
Well, actually, this is only the second year that I've been on the tour. But I am, this year I've joined the board of directors of the Artists Alliance, and I'm on the tour again. And because my studio is really my home. By that, well, the outside of my home. I have a small space that I work in, not a studio per se, so I show all the work outside. We have a fair amount of property, And so I hang it all over the trees and everything, and I keep my fingers crossed
won't rain.
for the weather.
I don't know about this year, Gene.
Well, I don't know. I went to the 10-day forecast, and it says it's going to be sunny Thursday, Friday,
Folks,
Saturday.
Artist Alliance isn't just about art. Get your weather here.
That's right, that's right. I'm like the weather person.
Well, Gene, thank you so much. It was so nice catching up with you, and I hope everyone will stop off at your house and see your beautiful watercolors.
I hope so.
Hanging in trees, how nice. Art in the outdoors is beautiful.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
and
much.
enjoy and go see everything here at this
I'm
wonderful
excited.
exhibit that we're doing.
I'm excited to talk to all the different artists, Gene. Ellis, you make beautiful paintings. Tell me, what kind of paint do you use?
This is an en plein air, meaning I paint outdoors.
Yes.
This is en plein air. And actually, the clouds came from a trip to Ireland, and the bottom is Louse Point.
Favorite.
I
I'm
know.
so inspired by Last Point. Now, do you use acrylics or do you use
No,
oil?
this is oil. This is oil, but I do a lot of, I do portraits, and this is a portrait. I do portraits, and I do still life, and also en plein air, and I do I have some very large canvases at home.
So when you say you took the clouds from Ireland and the bottom from Last Point, do you take photos and work from your photos?
I do take photos. When you en plein air paint, you're not necessarily sure tomorrow is going to be the same as today. So you always take your camera with you. It's a great resource. And our son was a film lighter before he went into LED lighting, and he's a good photographer. So he's taught me how to take good photographs. Yeah, I've learned to do a lot of photography. So I always take pictures. And then if the day's rainy and it's not the same, I can use that as a reference.
And then maybe some of your photographs in next year's show. No.
That's true. That's true.
Well, it's
but I really
beautiful.
like to paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about painting? Is there anything? Can you even describe it?
I love to paint. It's in my heart. I love to paint. I wanted to paint, and when I was training for career, it wasn't viable for making money. So I had to make money first so I could paint. So that's what I've done.
Now you just get to paint, right?
I paint all the time. I love it.
Where do you put all your paintings? Hopefully you sell most of
All
them.
over the house.
You have them on rotation?
Yeah. Yeah, I rotate. I sell them, and at first, when I first started, I couldn't sell them because I couldn't give them. I couldn't get rid of them. I've gotten over that. I got.
How did you get over? You just had too many. Now you have.
No, it was exciting. It was exciting to see people want to put their work in your home. I like that. So I got over it. Now I can say goodbye to them.
Yeah, the framings are beautiful. Do you choose? Is it hard to choose the frame? How do you choose the frame?
It was at first. It was at first. It isn't now. No, it is not. And I don't frame this like this much anymore. I put them in much simpler frames. I had a show in New York, and my daughter came to see my paintings, and she said, you know, why don't you just use simpler frames? And I've moved to more simpler frames. This happens to be this is called an en plein air frame. It's a special frame for this kind of painting.
Stop the press. You had a show in New York?
At the Gallery Riva in Roosevelt Island. I'm a guest member there. And I go and take my paintings in a couple times a year. And have you ever been to Roosevelt Island?
You know, horribly. I have.
It's a charming place.
It's a great little. You take
You take the cable car over there. Take the cable car over there, and you can see the views. The views of New York are magnificent, and they've got the most wonderful gallery there. And their painters come up here and paint with me, and I go down and paint with them. They're in France right now, and I'm not.
Do you go to Europe a lot?
Yes.
To get inspiration?
Yes.
And I love the way you did the little sunset creeping. Is that sunset behind?
That's my ground. That's the ground. That's the canvas. When you start a painting, you put a ground color on, and that's red, and so the green pops.
It's like the sunset or something.
The green pops. It's one of the techniques. It's one of the little things you do.
I'm here with Phyllis Hammond, a wonderful sculptor here. Hi. And the president of the Artist Alliance of the East Hampton. So it's wonderful to be here. And it's wonderful that you've combined the kickoff party with the exhibit. It's nice.
It's very exciting. Here are people that are absolute beginners in art and professional people all together. And it's made the shows full of vitality and excitement. And don't you think it's really beautiful? It's
beautiful.
I mean, they've hung it according, you know,
Who
by
does the hanging?
And Jim Hayden and Frank Sofo. Frank was in charge of the member show, and Yana Hayden. And Jim really did a fantastic job. Three of us really put this whole thing together, and it's mostly Yana and Jim. And it's been a very exciting year.
So tell me about the Artist Alliance. Why do you think it's so important in a community of artists and a community?
Well, it's the only grassroots organization that accepts beginners. A lot of people have trained as artists, as young people, and then they have stopped because they've taken time out to make a living and bring up their families, and now they're retired and back working again, and this gives them an opportunity to exhibit and have people respond to their work, which is so essential to evolving and developing. And the next thing you know, you're really seeing them at Guildhall and at in the galleries, local galleries, and it's really fantastic.
What I like about, I am a member, and what I like about being a member is that you're always getting these wonderful emails, and you always know what's going on around town and who your fellow community of artists, what they're doing and who they are, and it's really
yes,
nice.
Especially new members. That's a very important part of it. And then the Let's Talk Art programs, and we have monthly meetings at Guildhall, membership meetings, and
now
it's
this
very
year,
exciting.
when you buy your ticket for the tour,
yes,
you also get to go for free to a talk about golden paints, right? Which I think is fascinating.
It's going to be next Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's free.
Great.
And the golden paints people have sent us cartons of free samples.
So next Sunday, what's the date?
It's the 12th of July at 1 o'clock, and there'll be a lot of free samples of the paint, and there'll be someone that will be showing us new ways to use acrylic paint, like putting fillers in it to make more sculptural work, and you know, what new ways they've developed to use it. So that's very exciting. And then the people will collect their work from this exhibition and take it home. And I hope next year you'll be part of it.
I know.
There you go.
I know.
Challenge.
I do such big paintings. It is a challenge to do small ones. So next year, I was in it last year.
Oh, were you?
I'll have to do it next year. Definitely. I promise.
Okay.
So tell me about this wonderful piece behind us. What's the name?
It is like a flower or singing, but you see the moving was part of it. It blows in the wind. It's
beautiful.
And moving pieces were very important. And
why moving pieces?
Just it's more exciting. I just finished a 20-foot sculpture in Japan, in Ube, Japan, and children can climb on it. And it's aluminum. This is aluminum, and it's powder coated. It's the same as the garden furniture. You know, it's very good paint, and they're all bright colors, orange. And
I'm so happy you did that, because I think I take my children to Longhouse where the sculptures are, and they can play on them and play around them.
Yes.
And the fact that you made a sculpture that kids can play on, I think is so important for children to learn about appreciating art,
Yes.
to not be scared of it, not be fearful, but they can play around it.
and
It's such
in
a
it
beautiful
and around. Yes.
Such a beautiful combination. So thank you so much for watching this fantastic event and show. I was so grateful to be able to cover it and talk to some of those wonderfully talented artists. If you are just tuning in and you missed it, you'll want to catch the show when they air it again. But we are at Ashwell Hall, and this was the kickoff party for the 24th annual Artists Alliance of East Hampton's Studio Tour. And it's also, they combined it with their members exhibit this year. So it's a really wonderful event. And Ashwell Hall is such a great place. If you don't know where Ashwell Hall is and you're scared to come out too far into Springs, don't be scared. Springs is beautiful. You just take Springs Fireplace Road and you just follow it until you see on your right a bunch of cars and a little sign that says art exhibit, because there's a lot of people here, and you'll see Ashwell Hall. It's green and white behind me, and it's a wonderful place to catch art exhibits. And this is a wonderful one. So this Artist Studio Tour, don't miss it. It starts 9th, 10th, and 11th, and it's a great way to kind of drive around and see local artists. And you won't want to miss this exhibit, because there's some fabulous artists, new artists who've been showing here a lot. And thank you for tuning in here to WVVH TV. I'm Zoe Pennybaker, and I'm sure there's something fabulous coming on next, so stay tuned. Bye-bye.